All right, guys, welcome back to Tech Insights with Dylan White. We're here on day 3 of the 30-day march to the SC900 and understanding of the security fundamentals from the Microsoft Learn team. We're going to dive into a little bit more of the Microsoft Security 101 and prep with modules 4, 5, and 6 of that journey. If you missed any days, please just scroll up to the videos above and you'll see days 1 and 2 where we went through the first 3 modules and a little bit of an overview of the entire program. Again, we're all just heading towards the basic security concepts. At the end of this, you should have a base understanding of how to get to your SC900 and also take the cert right and pass. Well, through the journey, we're also going to do some AMAs, have some actual study group sessions. We're going to have a lot of fun. Super excited to take these 30 days with you. Let's just keep rocking. So stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome to section 1 of module 4, security operations. Let's look at the key concepts. Let's dive in. All right, so through this, we're going to look at what is security operations, what's the function within your business. We're going to also look at what form of operations will security SecOps take, right? And then how does it differentiate from traditional IT operations? So what is SecOps functionality in a business organization, right? The primary goal of security operations is to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of an organization's digital assets. Back again to the very basics, module 1, looking at the CIA triad. They're responsible and accountable for all of that. Right? That is what security operations does. Right? And they are a diligent team. Right? And so what form can security operations take? They can be a security operations center, otherwise known as a SOC, right? An incident response team. It can be a threat hunting team, a red or blue team, right? Red team is simulating actions, blue team is defending. Managed security services provider, right? So third party to the business. And how does SecOps differ from traditional IT operations? It's focus, responsibility, timeliness, and skill set, right? You have a skill set to perform security operations, right? Very different from traditional IT operations. We're not help desk, we're not a service desk. We're actually trained on cybersecurity tooling, incident response actions, vulnerability management, services like that. Our timeliness is critical. If you have an incident that's been around, like we see it all the time, the mean time to see a vulnerability or a risk or a threat actor, 72 days. And then the entire network is at risk. Responsibilities, right? You're responsible and accountable for the security organization, right? You're responsible for all the security systems. The focus, again, you're focused only on the security systems. The incident response workflow, this helps you as an individual understand the different processes in incident response, right? So you, first one, identify. The second one is to protect. Then you detect, right? And respond to, and then you recover, right? So you'll want the whole goal of cybersecurity to be as proactive as possible to mitigate risk, right? That's it. So further reading, out of the below links, I'd probably say the Security Operations Center from the CompTIA, and then I'll throw another one in from CISA. That's really good and explains what SecOps does. So let's dive into Module 2 and how SecOps aligns to the Zero Trust architecture. All right, we talked a lot about Zero Trust and all the different pillars. You guys heard me and how excited I get about Zero Trust. I think aligning to pillars like this makes it so much easier to understand the different business aspects of each of the pillars, right? From networking, from identity, now looking at SecOps, like it's so much easier with the clarity and the pillar alignment. Right? You can debate all we want about Zero Trust as a whole, but having that from a pillar alignment when you start out and you can have focus is so amazing, right? And how does the IT architecture built, right? How do you build it, right? What is best practices for SecOps, right? Let's look at those, right? So you must have, right, centralized log collection, right? You need to be able to integrate log sources, right? You need to be able to make sure all your devices, applications, services, whatever it may be, are configured to have logs and then be able then to send those configured logs into a centralized log repository, right? So your servers, firewalls, routers, switches, blah, 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 you get it. And then going into that, right, have a SIM, right, an actual security information event monitoring tool, right? We hear all these things about log monitoring tools. Not all of them are built the same, right? Just like a router is built different from a firewall. Right? Choose a SIM that's right for your organization. Not only that's right today, but that's right down 2 years to 3 years down the line, right? Make sure it supports log collection, aggregation, analysis, and reporting. Make sure it's scalable. It provides redundancy. Right? When we start talking about next-gen SIM tools, of course I'm biased to Microsoft Sentinel. Right? I'm not gonna lie, we're here, but make sure it is scalable for your business. Right? You don't. Last thing you want to do is spend 6 to 12 months implementing something that's already out of date within the next year. Terrible, terrible from a business outlook. Right? Make sure also you're able to securely transport the logs. So whatever log sources you integrate, you're able to transport them securely. Right? Make sure that they're using things like TLS, SSL, or IPsec for transporting those logs. Normalization, right? Standardize the log formats. Right? Microsoft Sentinel has a bunch of different tools out there to help you standardize log formats from third-party sources. Right? Microsoft to Microsoft, of course, support it, but also third-party sources are now building custom parsers to normalize that data before it comes into Microsoft Sentinel. Right? Also, make sure it provides storage and retention. Right? While the data must be stored in a confidential, compliant way, it must be stored for a certain amount of time. Right? So make sure it prevents things like unauthorized access and tampering. And what's some best practices for SecOps, right, in modern IT? Being able to provide continuous monitoring has to happen. Right? You've got to see things 24/7, 365. Doesn't matter. Threat intelligence, be able to see things from around the world that's emerging in vulnerabilities, right? We hear about all the time, this new latest risk, 0 days, blah, 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 blah. You have to be able to see that and then analyze it as well, right? What is the intel based on my company, and organization's vertical, right? User training, be able to continuously conduct end user training, right? End users at the end of the day, I've been saying it for almost a decade and a half now, 16 years of my life, that end users will be users, right? You will always have risks as long as you have users in your organization. You being one, right? Everything's a risk. Make sure everybody's trained on the latest and greatest vulnerabilities out there. Or make sure your organization has an incident response plan. If, right, you have a breach, not necessarily a right statement. When you have a breach, what happens? That's how I talk to people in this industry. When you have a breach, what happens? Right? Security automation. Leverage security automation orchestration tools. Again, a little bias to Sentinel. Leverage a SIM that has a SOAR capability as well. Actually, Sentinel might just be the best one on the market. Just saying. Backup and recovery. Make sure you're having backups. Right? This has been around for decades. Back up your data. Right? And if you want to see anything further, make sure you're looking at some SecOps and analytics platform architecture. Right? Make sure you just read things. Make sure you're looking at different things. The cloud adoption framework is great for SecOps. But just look at different materials. Please, it'll help you. All right, so now let's go look at the capabilities of SecOps. Like, what should some capabilities be? All right, so what is a SIM? We talked about that already. We can talk about some more. We're going to talk about some more. What is an XDR? What kind of capabilities can be used to enhance SecOps? Right, we talked about this, right? We talked about log collection, data normalization, standardization. Event correlation, it's a little bit newer, probably last 5 or 6 years. SIMs should be able to correlate events between all the different alert logging systems they're bringing in, right? So I should be able to correlate my identity logs versus my network traffic versus my cloud architecture, whatever that may be. Also, alerting and notification. It needs to be able to alert and notify you when something is wrong. Right? Incident detection, right? Hugely important. User, we got 1,000 alerts, but how many actually correlate to one incident, right? Let's make sure we see that so we're not having alert fatigue. UABA, right? User entity behavior analytics. Such a radical idea. It's amazing. Now I can tell all these analytics for this one thing in my network. Threat intel, we talked about it already. The automation orchestration, we talked about SOAR, dashboards and visualizations. So powerful when presenting internally, but also when visualizing data. Right? Our eyes naturally tend to see data better than just looking at the data from a log by log source. Right? Who wants that? Look at the dashboard. Integration with other security tools, right? I say it all the time. Microsoft Sentinel, SIM, great. It's the one security tool you don't need any other Microsoft licensing for, right? It needs to be able, though, to integrate. There's a whole marketplace of integrations. Leverage that, right? What is XDR? Extended detection and response, right? It is a platform that provides endpoint detection and response combined with greater security telemetry, right? From various sources, right? So if you look at XDRs, most platforms include things like email security, right? They include things like cloud app security. They include all kinds of different tooling in one platform, right? So it has data integration, advanced analytics, threat detection, incident response built in, threat intel built in. It's unified, right? That's the word you want to use. It's a unified platform for leverage, right? It's cross-platform, right? As you can see, endpoint, servers, cloud, mobile devices. email, all of it. You can see it all, one platform, monitor, manage, respond, all of it, right? We talked about this, machine learning, automation, UAVA, threat intel we talked about, deception technologies. Can we deploy deception technologies, right? Definitive identity, just saying, great deception technology. It's a honeypot. Go look it up, right? You got all these great resources, all this powerful stuff. Go take a look, right? The power of SecOps, great resource as well. Just go take a look. All these links will be in the show notes. Let's go see what I get on the module quiz. See you guys back here in a second. All right, guys, another 100. We're batting 100%. 1,000 right now. It's awesome. Another 5 out of 5. This quiz is much easier than the other ones. Way easier than networking. Again, kind of hate networking. So it's awesome. Stay tuned. We're going to dive into a little bit about infrastructure coming soon. Let's get it. All right, guys, we're back. Section 5. Let's get it, right? So we're going to cover what is application security. A little bit about the key concepts and principles as well. What is app security? Often known, right, as AppSec in the industry, as it refers to the practice of protecting software applications from security threats, vulnerabilities, and attacks. It encompasses processes, techniques, tools used to identify, mitigate, and prevent security risks throughout development, deployment, and maintenance of the lifecycle of an application. Right? It's critical because applications are common targets of cyber attacks. Right? Malicious actors commonly take advantage of critical vulnerabilities in these applications. Right? So some key concepts is secure by design. Right? So secure from the front. Input validation, validating all user input into the systems that they're doing, right? Output encoding, data sent from the client should be properly encoded to prevent vulnerabilities from cross-site scripting. Right? Talk about cross-site scripting and active threats. Authentication authorization, again, key part of the identity zero trust pillar. Data protection, again, sensitive data should be encrypted when stored, transmitted, and processed to prevent unauthorized access. Session management, right? Making sure user sessions are protected. Secure dependencies, error handling, logging, right? You're going to constantly hear logging. Security testing, being able to test it throughout the software development lifecycle, making sure that's a secure development lifecycle. Right? So you can always read through it. I think one of the best parts of this is the OWASP Foundation. You'll see lots of great information in there. So let's hit mod piece 2 on the key capabilities. All right, so a little bit about key capabilities and tools, right? So you have static application security testing, also known as SAST stack, right? Analyzes secure code, the byte code, binary code. Some common tools are barcode, check marks. We see that a lot. Also DAST, which is known as dynamic application security testing, right? Scans running identified vulnerabilities. There's ZAP, Burp Suite is super common, and Qualys Web App Scanner. You'll see a lot of those, right? Microsoft has a tool. There's all kinds of places now that have tools to scan in the application itself. Interactive application security testing. Most of this combines elements of SAST and DAST together, right? HCL is the common one I've seen in the industry. Runtime application self-protection. Monitor and protects the app in real time, detecting and responding to security threats as they occur, right? So runtime protection, the F5 is really good. RASP has with the RASP capabilities. Vericode's very common, lots of them out there. Also, web application firewalls themselves, right, provide a protective layer between the app and the internet, right? Filters out content from the internet going into the app, right? There's AWS WAF, there's Akamai, there's Mod Security, there's Cloudflare, there's all kinds of different WAFs out there. Microsoft, of course, has their own WAF. Dependency scanning, right? Identifying vulnerabilities in third-party libraries and components that are used, right? So anything that's third-party to the app itself. Pen testing your app, right? It's real-world attacks that are simulated to discover vulnerabilities and assess the security of an app. All apps before they're published on the internet, hopefully, are pen tested, right? There's tools, all kinds of Metasploit and Nmap, lots of them. Security scan, right? Nessus, Qualys. Nessus also can be called Tenable. Nessus is owned by Tenable. OpenVAS. There's all kinds of actual code scanners out there. Container security tools, right? Docker security scanning, Aqua, huge in the industry. It's a great security tool. Lots of them out there. Secure development, right? There's all kinds of training programs and platforms to help you learn how to secure and secure by design. Secure testing frameworks, right? Again, you'll see this commonly. OWASP. Secure code review tools, right? SonarQube, huge in the industry. Securing API microservices, AWS API Gateway, Istio, very big from a product side. Again, I'd say Microsoft Defender for Cloud. You can see all the different ones. HackerOne has some great resources. Cybergov.au, Australia has great security resources, one of the top security countries in the world. So that is the end of Module 5. Let's take a look at the quiz. Let's see what I get. Let's keep the 100 streak going. All right, guys, once again, 100 streak stays alive. This one actually kind of confused me on a couple questions, so let me know down below if you also had some maybe a hiccup or two on this one. This one probably was the most difficult out of all of them just because I don't deal with AppSec a lot, so definitely interesting. Hopefully you guys would like the concepts and application security. I think it's probably has the most room for growth, just being a niche itself. So stay tuned. We're going to dive into infrastructure, probably the most broadest of all the security realms. So let's get it. Stay tuned. All right, guys. So final module of the day. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the ride. We're going to dive into infrastructure security. Probably one of the largest known niches right now, known today. A lot of the stuff we'll cover here is around endpoint management security. So let's get to some of the basic infrastructure security concepts. We're going to learn what is security hygiene, why is it important, security posture management, patch management, containers, and what is different about their security, right? So what is security hygiene? It helps prevent attacks following best practices, right, such as phishing, malware infections, and unauthorized access, protecting data, teams trust, compliance, and reducing risk, right? At the end of the day, anything we can do to reduce risk helps protect our organization, right? So some of the best practices are MFA, regular backups, employee training, and constant 24/7 monitoring, right? Continuous monitoring. Right? With security posture management, it refers to the practice of assessing, monitoring, and managing organizations' overall cybersecurity posture, right? And managing that posture against systems, networks, data, assets from cyber threats and attacks, right? It encompasses strategies, policies, practices, and technology that organization employs to safeguard its digital assets to maintain this confidentiality, integrity, and availability of its info. Again, we're going to look all the way. We're always about the CIA triad, right? That's what we're all about, right? So what is patching? Why is it important? Patching refers to the process of applying software updates, also known as patches, fixes, and software operating systems and apps, right? Patching is important for several reasons, right? Security, stability, compliance, maintaining trust, risk reduction. A lot of people just know patching for security updates. A lot of times, sometimes it's just about stability, right? Keeping up to the latest and greatest, right? Reduces risk for system failures, keeping the system available. Risk reduction, right? A lot of times we'll see 0 days because as soon as the platform puts out a new product, right, it hasn't been patched against certain 0-day attacks, right? Creates exploits. More containers, right? Containers are a form of lightweight, standalone, and executable software packages. Contain everything that's needed to run a piece of software, right? Code, runtime, libraries, system tools. Provide a consistent, isolated environment for applications, making it easier to develop, package, and deploy software, right? Includes Docker and Kubernetes. Container security refers to practice in tech used to protect containers, right, and the applications they host. Image security, runtime security, network security, access control, RBAC, logging, orchestration security, secrets management, all of that plays a part in container security. There's so much alone in just protecting containers. It's huge out there. So for some further reading, there's what's a CSPM, Cloud Security Posture Management. You can learn all about it, right? What's a CNAP, all kinds of different acronyms out there in the industry. It's getting huge, right? Lots of different things. So let's dive into section 2 and a little bit about the security capabilities inside of infrastructure. Let's get it. All right, guys. It's the last section of day 3. And we're all going to cover the infrastructure capabilities, right? So we're going to cover what is vulnerability management, what is a CSPM, otherwise known as Cloud Security Posture Management, what is a CNAP, Cloud Network Application Protection. I believe there's probably no platform protection, I believe, as the first P. So what's vulnerability management? It's a systematic process of identifying, evaluating, prioritizing, mitigating, and monitoring vulnerabilities in computer systems, right? And how we identify, right? So there's common vulnerability scoring system, and along with business context, right? Prioritizing, ranking vulnerabilities based on their risk level, potential impact to your organization. Mitigating, right? Developing, implementing strategies to mitigate the vulnerabilities. Right? Verification, confirming that the mitigating measures were actually met, right? Vulnerability management is critical. It is, it just is. Cloud security posture management, right? Some key aspects are configuration assessment, security policy enforcement, continuous monitoring, compliance reporting. Very important, right? Some common ones out there in the industry right now are Defender for Cloud and Sync. Sync is huge from a platform perspective. Defender for Cloud is picking up, right? Very much a Microsoft guy, not gonna lie. What's a CNAP, right? Cloud Native Application Protection Platform. Sorry to my friends out there that I forgot that first P. So sorry. It's Cloud Native, not Cloud Network. Cloud Native Application Protection Platform. It's all-in-one cloud native software platform that simplifies detecting and acting on potential cloud security threats and vulnerabilities. Right? It has pieces of DevOps, DevSecOps, just CSPM built in. Right? All kinds of different integrated tools. Breach protection. Right? There's all integrated into the platform itself to provide protection at the cloud. So you can read all about it. I think this why is everyone talking about CNAP article is really good because it is a very misunderstood platform out there. It's really still really new, right? Improving multi-cloud, right? There's a lot of great stuff out there. I'm gonna put some links into a good friend of the community, Yuri Diogenes. He's got some really good stuff out there. So does the developer of this platform actually works on the cloud security team. So she's also got some great content. So stay tuned. Once again, let's go get another 100 on the quiz and end of day 3 on a high. All right, guys, it's the end of day 3, another 100. Super excited. Tomorrow, 4th of July, we're going to be here super early and we're going to cover data security, AI security, and close out the Microsoft Security 101 extremely well known high. And then Friday this week, we're going to have a very short, we're probably going to do a LinkedIn space for just 30 minutes and then get ready for the SC 900 continuation of this part of the course. And it's just going to be very rampant. I wish I could give you guys a guaranteed schedule, but due to some life events that are coming up very soon, there is no predictability into my schedule. So hopefully, if you guys can't catch it live, you guys can catch a recording. So hopefully, you guys have enjoyed day 3. I can't wait to come back to with you guys tomorrow. Until then, if you like the video, make sure you hit like and subscribe. See you guys soon.